For the Young at Heart is sponsored by Duville Life and Wellness Community, a commitment to care, a legacy of compassion. This is Duville.
Hello, welcome to For the Young at Heart. I'm Lucille Jerome, and on our program today we're going to be taking a look at the Lowell Folk Festival. And I have a guest who's been working there for quite some time. Her name is Joanne Marcos, and she's the park ranger at the Lowell Historical National Park. I reversed the National Historical. Oh God, will the country sue me? Thank you for coming today. There's so much to talk about in terms of this festival. Where would you like to start? I'll leave that to you.
We can talk a little bit. Lowell Folk Festival, this is our 31st year.
Wow.
Okay, It started 31 years ago with the Regatta Festival happening on the Boulevard, and eventually turning to some ethnic programs that around City Hall, really embracing, the ethnic diversity of Lowell. So we used to have a program for the Polish community, and we'd have Polish food and Polish music, and then we'd have the Greek music and the Greek food, and eventually, lo and behold, we have the Lowell Folk Festival.
Okay.
So it is a weekend event. It's happening July 28th, 29th, and 30th. It's always the last full weekend of July. So if you're actually planning in advance, you always can recognize when we're going to have it. It's always the last full weekend. Okay, and you can plan and put it on your calendar. It starts Friday evening with a community parade.
You were telling me that when we were planning. Tell us a little bit about the parade.
So the parade is actually a great community program where we actually have a really fun band that leads the parade, and we have different ethnic groups that come and have their flag from their native country to show, all the diversity of Lowell. This year we actually have a special group. We're going to actually have puppets, and we have the youth program from the Community Health Center who's going to come out, and they're going to actually carry the puppets. We have about 10 puppets. There'll be 3 youth with each puppet, and so it's going to be like a community event. We encourage people from the sides, come and join the parade and walk with us, and let's start the festival.
Okay, so that's a wonderful way to begin the whole thing, which is a weekend event. And there's a lot going on.
Oh, there is. It's a lot going on. We've been planning since last year, We always start planning in September, for the following year. It takes a whole year. It's a large collaboration between the Lowell National Historical Park, the City of Lowell, the Chamber of Commerce, the Merrimack Valley Merrimack Valley Visitors Bureau, that all gather together, to bring this program for the citizens. It is the largest free folk festival in America. It's amazing.
So there's music and dance and events, and it's throughout the city.
Yes, actually, we closed down the city.
You closed down the city.
It's amazing how we closed down the downtown. We closed down the downtown area. So there are 2 stages that stay open in the evening. We start off with Boarding House Park on French Street, that will have music starting around the 7 o'clock, and running till a little bit after 10 on Friday evening. And then we have our dance stage, that we actually call Dutton Street Dance Stage, but it's actually in our parking lot for the Lowell National Historical Park. It's located 304 Dutton Street. And we actually closed the parking lot. We put a big dance stage, and you can dance all evening, So those are Friday evenings.
Some of the food.
Oh, yes. We have food vendors who will be located both at Boarding House Park and
Okay.
at Dutton Street for
Okay.
people to enjoy different ethnic foods. And during Saturday and Sunday, the rest of the stages will be open. We'll have a stage at St. Anne's Church.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
have one at Market Street, right in back of the Market Mills. We'll also have one at the Lowell Police Station, actually. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Right.
Oh, okay. So there are many different stages. People can maybe stay at one stage, perhaps, for the entire day if they chose to,
Like,
or walk around.
sorry about that.
Okay, or walk around to the different avenues and different events. Okay.
So there'll be the 5 stages will be open all weekend. They can actually stay at a stage, or they could go to another stage.
Sure, okay.
You know, we'll have a program set up, and they'll actually be able to see which artists are performing at what stage.
Okay.
Now that's not only thing that's happening. We also have at Lucy Larkin Parkway traditional folk crafts. So people can come and actually see barrel making, or we actually have some vendors who are coming to show you how they make saddles for horses and what the
wow.
different saddles are.
Yeah.
We actually in the past have made ironwork, so we can actually see how they make railings and all type of art with iron. We've had people make paper, which was that was last
That's
year, which
right,
was quite
that's
interesting.
right.
And then we have traditional foods, okay, where we have people come in and show different traditional foods, and they have a little talk, and they show you how they make it, and then you can actually get to taste it.
Okay. What might be the ethnic groups with the food this year?
So this year we
This
do
year.
have many of the returnings, okay?
Okay.
So we have the Filipinos, the Armenians, the Greeks, we have the Polish, we also have Burmese and the Africans, so there's quite a few.
Okay.
We'll have food tents, as I said, at Boarding House Park. There'll be food tents at Market Street. That's new, that just came in last year. We'll have 3 food vendors there.
Okay.
At Dutton Street Stage, and actually at City Hall we'll be having, right along Arcan Drive.
Okay, so this is for the entire family. We're talking children to elders.
Oh yes, this
So
is actually
everybody.
It's fun for everyone.
Okay.
We have actually have a children's area with crafts and games and activities for children. So there's something for everyone.
Okay.
And what's really fun is that it's free, and it's a great opportunity to come and really enjoy the city.
Yeah.
Lowell National Historical Park also offers free rides on the canals. So people can come and actually get on a free ride. We offer 6 of them during the day. They're a 20-minute ride, but it gets them onto the canal. They get to see a little city
Okay.
from a different vantage point.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think I knew that one.
Yeah,
About the canal rides.
It's first come, first serve. They just have to come
Okay.
to the visitor center,
Okay.
and they get their little ticket, and
And that's it.
and
They're
that's
on their
it.
way. Okay. Now, what if it's raining?
So if it's raining, if it's light rain, it's just a little bit of water. We'll
Yeah.
stay outside. But if it's really lightning and things like that, then the venues will go inside, and we'll actually have signs showing everybody. There'll be plenty of people, information tables showing everybody where the inside venues will be. Okay.
So let's think of this as an adventure.
It
Either
is
way.
Okay.
Either way.
It is.
An adventure.
It's nice to get out
Yes.
and just
Yes.
really enjoy the city, but enjoy traditional music. Okay.
Yeah.
The National Council for Traditional Artists or Arts, okay, is one of our biggest partners. Okay, they are the ones that go out and look for artists who actually will perform during the weekends. And we have all different types of music. We have music, Western styles, we have Greek music, we have Irish music, but all of these artists have learned this particular music, okay, from working with someone who's done it before. So it's
Right.
actually handed down from
Right.
generations to generations.
Right. So talk a little bit more about folk music. The
So
folk
that's
music.
basically a little bit different. It's not
Yeah.
pop music that you're going to hear on
Right.
the radio,
Right.
okay? It's,
Yeah.
definitely a different, type of music. It's a lot of fun. So we
Yeah.
have some very, soul music coming from Memphis, a band. We actually have Zydeco, which is really hopping
Yes,
music,
yes,
okay?
yeah.
We have some salsa music coming up, so a lot of dancing that will happen. And you'll find music that you enjoy. Many of these artists bring their own CDs, so they'll be selling CDs along, so you can actually bring this music right back home with you.
Okay. And it's accessible. You said there are
Oh,
different
it is-
venues and it's
It is
accessible.
handicap accessible, and I just do want to mention that parking is a little bit difficult. You
Okay.
won't be able to park downtown, okay? It is closed off, all right? You'll be able to park in the garages, okay?
Yeah.
But all the stages are handicap
Okay,
accessible.
yeah.
We make sure of that, okay? You'll be able to try to get
Yeah.
as close as possible.
Yeah.
If you're coming from out of town, you might want to park at Gallagher Terminal, which is where commuter rail is.
Yeah.
And they'll have a shuttle bus that will bring you right downtown.
I would think people would understand that there'd be parts of the city that would have to be closed down so people could walk around freely to these various events.
And it's really exciting because as they close down the streets, there is no cars, okay? And is people
What a
walking.
novel idea.
I know, people walking all over the place,
Yeah.
really enjoying it.
Yeah, okay. Now, you've been doing this for how many years? For yourself? What have
So
you...
I've been, I'm actually the volunteer coordinator for the Lowell Folk Festival.
Okay.
And I've been doing it, I actually don't even know how many years. So it's been a few years, okay?
But is that subsumed within your park ranger job, or is it
Yes.
different?
It's actually part of my
part of it.
ranger job, so it's actually one of my collateral duties.
Okay,
Every
yeah,
summer I
yeah,
take
yeah.
this on. And what we're doing is recruiting volunteers to help us with this festival. This would not happen unless we have volunteers to help. And we have thousands of volunteers.
Oh my
because people don't
gosh.
realize it, that all those food vendors that come in, okay,
Yeah.
those are nonprofits.
Okay.
And they are providing a service. They're actually providing ethnic food to show people their culture, okay? But the money that they raise goes back to their church or to an orphanage or to scholarships for young students or to a children's program. It actually is earmarked for something. Those are nonprofits. All the people behind the scene who are cooking the food and actually they're scooping it out of the containers for you, they're all volunteers. None of them are
Okay.
paid. This is, so the
Okay.
food vendors themselves, if you think about having, we have 30 tents that set up and all the people all weekend long, okay, those are volunteers. We have volunteers that work behind the stage. We have volunteers that record the music. We have volunteers for setup and takedown. We have volunteers who sell t-shirts and products, sell CDs. We have volunteers that distribute information. So when people want to know, okay, where
Right.
I want Polish food, where do I
Where do
go?
I go?
I want this type of food. They can tell them where where to go. They can give them maps. So everybody involved in this festival is basically volunteers. We have performer guides who come in and spend the entire weekend with the artists, making sure they get to the stages and making sure that things run smoothly.
Right.
We need drivers. Drivers are going to drive the artists to the stages. Now, when all the roads are closed, it's a little difficult,
That's
okay,
right.
getting to the different
That's
stages.
right.
But our drivers, they're very confident. They get to where they need to make sure they're on time, make sure all the artists are there for,
So do
in
you
time
still
for
need
their
some
performance.
volunteers?
We always need
You always need volunteers.
We always need
Hello out there.
volunteers. So what's really nice is we have many different jobs, okay? So people are not quite sure what kind of volunteers. So
Yeah.
I actually have a list, all right? And you can actually see it's 2
Oh,
pages
my heavens.
long. All right, but I've put it on our website, okay? So if people go to lowellfolkfestival.org, okay, and look at the volunteer page, they'll be able to download a whole description of all the jobs. Now, even these different jobs, so I have volunteers who run the music loggers, okay? So he comes in for the entire weekend and he works with all the volunteers, all right, for the whole weekend. I have someone who's actually one of our partners, the Chamber of Commerce, Danielle McFadden. She's actually working with the Bucket Brigade. That's another group of volunteers.
Bucket Brigade.
Now, it takes money to run this program, all right? So we all know that,
Yeah.
nothing is ever free.
That's right.
But, we do need to raise a little bit of money. We have lots of sponsors, which are great, and they really help us out. But, you know, we do have, you know, there are other expenses, and we're asking people to donate $1, $2, $5, not much. So we need people to go around with the buckets, okay? That's a fun activity. I've really encouraged lots of people, lots of organizations. So Enterprise Bank comes in, helps us, Jeanne d'Arc Bank, many of the banks, a group of, you know, some of the employees will come as a group and work with us. And we ask them, you know, they come and they'll go through the streets, they'll do 4 hours of volunteering, you know, asking for donations. And it's a fun job. And I've actually,
The whole thing is fun.
What's really interesting is I had this one
I'm looking at that page.
I had one family who has been volunteering for a few years, and she does the sales tent with her children. She wants to show them we need to give back to our community, and they have fun. They have so much fun. She said, this year the kids want to come back on, you know, another day. They don't want to do just one day. They want to do 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
And so I said, well, let's try something different. And so I said, how would you like to do the bucket brigade with your children? You know, the whole group of you can do that. They had so much fun. They came back and thanked me. They said, we're doing this every year. We're going to do 2 different things every year.
Oh my gosh.
You know?
Okay.
Another thing that we have is recycling.
Okay.
People don't really quite understand. Think about this large venue, okay, that's happening all weekend long. Buying food, your water bottles, creates a lot of trash, right?
I was going to say.
So we've been thinking about that for a long time and working very, very hard to make sure that we can recycle, okay, all of this trash. So pretty much I think over 90% of the trash that is accumulated during this festival is recycled. And you know what we do? Okay, we will be giving out compost this year. Compost from all the trash that was recycled from last year. So they actually give out bags, okay? It's amazing. We make sure that all of the food vendors, you know, have they buy their utensils and their plates from us, okay? Because we make sure that they have the right products. And when we throw the trash, we have recycle barrels and we have trash barrels, and all that goes to our recycle tent. We have a huge. That's another volunteer program. We have a recycle tent, and they go through. They distribute it, make sure, and then all of that goes to a recycling center where that is made into compost, and then the compost is given out the following year.
That is fantastic.
So
no wonder you start in September planning for July.
it does take a lot of work and, you know, a lot of coordination among all the different groups, and talking with, you know, Washington, with the National Council for Traditional Arts to get them started, and, you know, starting to think of who we're going to bring in as artists.
Okay, so they play a part too in who might come to this, because every year is different.
Oh yes,
every year is very different.
Every year is, you know, sometimes what we'll do is we'll bring back an artist that we had a few years ago, but many of the artists that are coming this year are new.
Oh, okay.
All different ages. We have a young group coming.
You mentioned 2 kids from Canada?
Oh, last year. That was
actually
last
year?
Last year, we had 2 12-year-old young girls who had learned how to do Inuit throat singing. And they've been learning that traditional art, and they've been performing. And they came down to perform for the folk festival.
That was last
I thought that was really interesting.
Yes,
you know?
yes,
Amazing artists, you know, that young, okay?
But they picked up something in their psyche, said they wanted to learn this, and they did.
Yeah.
Enough to go and be part of an event.
Yeah. And it was, you know, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. Something just occurred to me. Being comfortable, wearing comfortable clothing is important. Like women in heels is not a good idea.
Definitely not women.
Okay.
Yeah. No heels. And I don't even suggest wearing sandals. Even though it might be really hot, you want to get some good walking shoes.
Good walking shoes.
You know, wear your walking shoes, your, you know, your sneakers that you might go walking in, and just, you know, comfortable clothes. It is warm out there, okay? And if it's hot, you might want a hat, sunscreen, water. You know, there's water available everywhere. And sometimes when it's really too warm, we actually have these little cooling misting areas where we hook up a hose, and little holes come out, and it's like a misting. You can go underneath and just get cooled off, you know. But we do, you know, we have lots of personnel located throughout the venue, okay? We have to make sure that everybody's safe and nobody's getting overheated.
Right.
So, you know, emergency vehicles, we're actually emergency technical people who ride on bikes, and they have all their apparatus with them. We have,
You've thought of everything.
oh yes, they think of everything from you know,
Right.
start to finish,
Right.
just to make sure that this is a safe venue,
Right.
and that you know any medical emergencies, even so just a Band-Aid, okay, you'll have somebody with you in
Yeah.
seconds to
Yeah.
take care of you.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of times we've lost, you know, children have lost their parents. It's just amazing how that
Isn't it
happens.
amazing?
Okay? But
Yeah.
we were able to locate them very quickly. We have,
Yeah.
you know, lots of people on the ground, okay? Many of the rangers are out in forces, okay, walking through each venue. All of them have radios, all of them are watching everybody just to make sure everybody has a safe time,
Yeah.
okay, and enjoying
An
themselves.
enjoyable, safe, fun time of it.
Yeah.
Right. Now, people come from outside the area too.
Oh, we have thousands of visitors.
Okay, like
You know,
where
and
are
so when they come,
Yeah.
okay, some of them not even knowing that there's a folk festival happening, and then when they come and they
Oh.
realize it's happening, they're surprised, and they
Okay.
decide that they're going to mark their calendar and come back another year.
Okay,
you
all
know.
right, yeah.
So we do publicize it. We have it everywhere. We actually make sure that you know it's on our website for Lowell National Historical Park, so people are aware of it. But I always, you know, tell everybody, I say, you know, come down and enjoy your festival,
Yeah.
because this is part of Lowell, and it's
Yeah.
really a wonderful time
Yeah.
for the community to gather and to enjoy an activity together. I'm always looking for volunteers, as I said. and
Right.
what I say is like, be part of the volunteer family.
Sure.
Come and spend 4
Sure.
hours volunteering, and then you get the whole weekend for free.
They can volunteer as few as 4 hours?
4 hours is usually what I ask for, 'cause
Okay.
it makes it easier for us,
Sure.
okay? So there are many different jobs, everywhere from recycling to setting up. We actually have sales tents. We ask people to come and bring a friend, but if you don't have a friend available, come and meet new friends, okay?
Yeah, right.
We have the bucket brigade, backstage assistant. Some of the people like to be
Backstage.
right where everything is happening.
Yeah.
We have performer guides that we're still looking for people to help with the artists, okay, getting them onto the stages. We have recycling, water and ice. People say, water and ice. Well, some of these stages, they need water and they need ice, okay?
Yeah.
So we need, people to get them
Those
through.
lights are hot on
Yeah, they're
stages.
hot. And one of our biggest activity is setting up and taking down. I'm always amazed by the folk festival. The tents come up, and by Friday, we're starting to put the tents where they need
Yeah,
to be,
yeah.
put our chairs out,
Yeah.
okay? Every day we go around, we check the chairs, we make sure everything's set up. So each day we're setting up Friday, Saturday, and
Right,
Sunday.
right.
At 6 o'clock on Sunday evening is takedown. Go down, all the chairs are removed, the tables, the tent company comes, they're picking everything up. If you come downtown City of Lowell on Monday morning, you would never even know there was a
wouldn't
folk
even
festival.
know it.
It's cleaned up and everything gone.
Okay. All
So
right.
it's amazing.
Yes, it is
But
amazing.
to get all that done, we need
The
help. Okay, we
volunteers.
do need
Right,
volunteers.
right.
But to volunteer, okay, you get a T-shirt, okay, that says Lowell Folk Festival Volunteer. It's actually a nice bright T-shirt. And for many of you, you get a parking pass in the AARC garage, which is really nice because that will give you free parking for the weekend. So it's always trying to find a place, okay? So, and we say, come volunteer for
Yeah.
4 hours and then enjoy the
Yeah,
weekend.
Right. Now, do people come for every single day of the weekend, or
I have people who come every,
every
single day. Okay, because the
Okay.
music, you might hear them Friday night, but then you want to hear this one and that one and this
Yes.
one, and say, oh, this one's playing only Sunday, I want to see that.
There
And
you
then
go.
sometimes you get caught up, you go to the dance stage, and you say, oh, I'm just going to listen to this, for an hour,
Yep.
and before you know
Yep.
it, you're there for 4 hours
That's right.
dancing away,
That's
know?
right.
So,
That's right. Okay. Oh boy. And so you have a blast doing this. I can tell.
it is a fun weekend,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
It's long, but it's fun,
Yeah,
and you really enjoy it. Everybody's having a great time. There's lots, I meet a lot of people this way, and many of my volunteers come back, but we're always looking for new ones, okay? And we're always encouraging to come and be part of the festival. Because, you know, people come and they enjoy the festival, but once they become part of the festival and they're actually helping out, they get to meet more people, and it's fun.
Well, a lot of people don't know the background work to put this on in the first place. They come and they enjoy and they leave, but they might not really understand the background work to get it all put together.
And,
since September.
And that's why, you know, people enjoy it, and it's so well put.
It's so well done.
It's, you know, because there's a lot of work that happens behind the scenes, okay? And getting everybody up to speed and making sure that all the venues are set with all the volunteers.
So there's dancing and eating and singing and eating and watching crafts
and looking at crafts,
the canal
and you know, our canal tours, and the children have, you know, there's, you know, we have also
for everybody.
And we also have a craft show, well, it's not a show, but it's actually artists who are selling their crafts in the, right next to the visitor center, okay, in that little venue right outside the door.
I would imagine our seniors in this community love going to that too and seeing the ethnic variety.
Oh,
because they grew up, seniors everywhere actually, you know. We're actually going to be winding down very shortly, you know. So I'm thinking, a brief summary. What's the high point? If in your 10 years doing this, what's the high point that you remember? Don't tell me all of them, because I know all of them, but something that sticks out for you.
So the one thing that really I find enjoyable is when, and this is because I've worked with a lot of the volunteers, when they've come and they come at the end of their shift, says, you know, I'm coming back tomorrow to do another shift for you. This was so much fun. I really enjoy meeting the people.
Yeah,
and
meeting
I think
the people.
And that's what's really important. They're not just working for the festival, but they're meeting the people. They're part of the festival. They're hearing the music. So they're right there. The stage is right there. And they're part of the festival. And to feel that, you know, they're part of it, they help make this exist. And I think that always makes me feel good at the end of the weekend. And I was able to, get the, the community to be part of the community.
Yes, that's a wonderful way to put it. The community to be part of the community. Now, you mentioned a website, and is there a phone number? We might want to give that out again. The website to get all this information
is lowellfolkfestival.org. It's all together, and when you go on that page, you're going to see all the artists that we are bringing on. You're going to also see where it says volunteer. There'll actually be a little icon on the side that says volunteer. You could click that, and on the volunteer page, there's an online volunteer. So you can actually go online, fill out the form, okay? If you don't know which job you want, there's a description of all the jobs. You can go to that and look at that. But what's important is once you sign up, then someone from my office will contact you just to discuss it, to make sure that we're all on the same page. But if you have questions, by all means, call us on our volunteer line, 978-275-1740. Okay, you can leave a message and we'll call you back.
And for those people who are coming from out of town, there are hotels and motels in the area for them to stay at. They probably have that listed on the website also. Maybe?
We don't have the hotels, but they can call the National Park and we'll help them.
So any questions, there's the website, there's a phone number, and enjoy.
And enjoy.
And enjoy.
And enjoy the food, enjoy the music, just enjoy the festivities. It is a fun weekend, it really is.
It's a delight having you here today.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me.
It's a fun weekend, and you're a fun person to be helping to organize it.
So volunteer, become part of Lowell Folk Festival.
How many, before we go, how many folk festivals are there in this country? Are there other folk festivals
Well, I know that the group that I work with, they do 3 different folk festivals, around the country. There's probably more. But
there are others, but yours is the largest.
Folk festival. We don't charge anybody to come.
Thank you. Thank you again for coming.
All right, thank you.
For the Young at Heart is sponsored by Duville Life and Wellness Community, a commitment to care, a legacy of compassion. This is Duville.